Hi guys, welcome to episode 6. Today I wanted to talk about self-belief. I know this series was designed in mind, hoping to, help you guys feel less lonely. I know how tough it is to sometimes get in your own head. It sometimes feels like you're trapped. Your mind can play tricks on you. I don't doubt it. I've been in those places before. Dark times, right? It's so dark that things just seem hopeless sometimes. I think everyone has felt that before. So the importance of this topic I wanted to talk about, self-belief, is because oftentimes in those dark places, it's extremely hard to kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel, as you would say. But I think not only does it help you see the light at the end of the tunnel, it allows you to operate in the dark and do things that you typically wouldn't do. So let's just start with basics. How does it allow you to see the light? Those instances, those moments of self-belief that you can make it, that you can achieve that goal, it feeds into hope. I don't want to say it's manifesting, because part of me doesn't believe in manifesting, or that's the wrong word. I think it's more identity than manifesting. Luck, I don't believe in luck, right? Everything connects to everything else. You create your own circumstances. And if you didn't, like how you were born or what kind of family you were born into, then you can still, it doesn't matter. Yes, you'll have a harder time, but it's not a matter of if you'll be able to drag yourself out. It's a matter of when. Having that self-belief, I believe, in our day and age is extremely valuable. If you're anything around my age, 23, in your 20s, right? If you're unemployed right now listening to my podcast, like, this is a good start, but I think to a degree you're not able to really do anything. I'm jumping around a little bit. So one is seeing the end of the road, being able to really visualize and have that identity change in your head of, I am the person who achieved things. I am the person who will get this done. I am the person who, no matter the circumstances, you can count on me. I will win. I will get it done. That is the light part. And I think the other part to that, maybe there's just two, is being able to allow yourself, being able to really take action. I think when we get into these stages and kind of, not rat holes, I'm trying to think of the word. When we get into these like ruts, right? It's tough. You don't want to do anything except lay around, mope all day, doom scroll, and blame the world for your misfortunes. But you can blame the world all you want. Nothing's going to change unless you change, right? It's like if you're unhappy, you have to change. You have to do something different, right? If you're not changing, you're choosing. You like that? Yeah. If you're not changing, you're choosing. But how do you change? You have to take action. You have to have the right mentality. With the right mentality and knowledge, you have to just execute, right? I preach about this in the other videos, but it's true. Believe the power and the self-belief that you have allows you to take action, right? If you don't believe you can do something, why would you do it? If you don't believe that you can achieve X, Y, or Z, how could you do it, right? You wouldn't even start, right? But that also comes with, breaking these. You can't have unrealistic expectations and not do anything about them. You have to take action. So I think having that self-belief is important. Being able to work in the dark when you don't see the light. Having an internal compass, an internal purpose that'll drive you forward on days where you don't feel like doing it. And I know, like, everyone in the personal development world, it's like, you can still do it if you don't feel like it. That's true. And in a way, that's ideal, right? But it's not always the case. We're human. And that's when you have to know in those moments that you have to give grace to yourself. Use your internal judgment right here, right? But you don't want to slack off. You'd only be cheating yourself, right? Yeah. So how do you build that self-belief? How do you believe that confidence? Sorry, not believe. How do you build that confidence? How do you build that self-belief? Well, that comes with keeping small promises to yourself, right? Be honest with yourself when you say you're going to commit to something. Are you actually going to commit? If you don't tell yourself those things. It's simple, right? That's how you build self-confidence. 1, keeping promises. 2, doing things, putting yourselves in situations that are uncomfortable, that'll help you grow. That's 2. Because over time, you'll be like, okay, well, I trust myself. No matter what, even this is uncomfortable, I'll make it out to the other side. You guys have all heard that quote, like, you've survived however many years you've lived of problems. You've survived every problem you've encountered. That still stands true, right? But I know sometimes when we get into these ruts, emotional or professional ruts, you think all hope is lost. And I think in those moments, your mentality is what matters the most. Self-belief. And yeah, you almost have to be, in a sense, delusional. Obviously, you have to put in the work to make sure it's not delusional, but everyone's heard the quote, like, the bird on a branch. When a bird lands on a branch, it's not afraid of the branch breaking because it has faith in its wings to fly. It's the same kind of mentality that you can apply to any situation, right? If you have that internal self-belief, if you believe you'll be okay, no matter you getting out of a relationship, moving to a new city, finding a job, you have to have that. You have to build it. Yes, there's extremes. Yes, you can believe in yourself too much that it's delusional. It's not great. You have to be honest, right? just don't put in the work. It's not supposed to be easy. This isn't supposed to be easy. And I think in a sense, to be better, to become someone you're proud of, to become someone new that you're not, there are parts of you that will have to fade away. Habits, processes, right? Things will have to fade out. Things will be different. You have to expect for it to be different. If it's not different, if you're not changing, right? If you're not doing things differently, you're choosing, 1. 2, you're being delusional. Actually, not even delusional, because that word has somewhat of a positive context. You're just crazy, right? Because the definition of crazy is what? Doing things over and over and expecting the same results, or expecting different results. I think in a sense, you have to do things over and over. Like if you keep on putting in the hard work, you have to believe that it'll pay off, right? Depends on what you work on. That's also really important. You just have to know what to work on. I don't know. Some of this stuff, like, it's common sense to me. Sometimes it wasn't at times. At times it wasn't common sense. And you'll find, like, throughout these vlogs or this podcast, right? I'll use, like, simple maxims. I love those. The simple maxims that really just alter your perspective on things. They're so simple that, like, you think it's dumb, but it's really not. Sometimes it's just that easy. Yeah. Like, one of my favorites, saying yes to something means saying no to something else, right? That's so simple. We all know that. But putting it in that kind of phrasing, it helps you, I don't know, it feels like I unlocked a new neural pathway, right? You're much more conscious of it. If you have any, please share. I love them. Every single time I find one, I'm like, oh, gotta save. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. Self-belief, how you build it, why it's important, why it's necessary to achieve anything valuable. Yeah. Too much of it, though, you become a narcissist. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but there is a label for it. Just know the line. Dear future wife, if you are in a dark place, if you are struggling, stressing about anything and everything, about finding your future husband, you have to believe that I'm out there. This is me trying to be out there, right? Yeah. You have to believe in yourself, believe in fate, that we'll find each other. See the light when all you see is dark. You have to believe. To everyone else, you just have to believe. Put in the work. Don't be delusional. Delusion is belief in something that isn't true. But when you know something is certain, when it is true, how do you believe it then? People believe in deities, right? Why don't you believe in yourself? You're real. Are the gods real? I don't know. They might be. Maybe I'm, being, what's the word? Not arrogant. Maybe I'm just invisible to that. Right? But believe in yourself. It will do wonders. Take action. And sometimes all you just have to do is keep doing what you're doing. What you work on matters. So make sure it's worth working on whatever it is you're going through. Remember, everything connects to everything else. That volleyball class you took in 2nd grade, you might have to use those skills when you're 25 years old. Steve Jobs loved calligraphy. Fun fact, it's now Apple fonts. So you just have to believe, guys. All right, that's it. I'm gonna end this video. Yeah, believe in yourself. Go make shit happen. All right, bye guys.